Are we recording? So, I'm thinking of moving out of the country right after I pick up my bread. Is it just me, or does it seem like the timeline has jumped? We are already mid-July, and it seems like it was only yesterday when we started July. And it's just so crazy to think about it that we were just in June. And I've been thinking a lot lately on why time is going by so fast. And I can't really find an explanation for it. You know, I don't know if it's just me or things are just moving very, very fast. Um, but yeah, I mean, it seems like it's Monday, now it's Friday. It's the first, now it's the 17th, July 17th when I shot this video. And I don't know, it's just weird, guys. Is there something going on with like the time frame, or are we in a different type of energy? Is that the right way to say it? Has something caused the timeline to move much faster, or is it just me? I don't know. If anybody else has a clue, please let me know. I'd love to do more research on it, but you know, time's moving fast, which means pretty soon it's gonna be the end of the year. And man, to be honest, this year has been pretty difficult for the most part. It's a lot of challenges, but at the same time, it's because I'm trying new things. I'm not sure what you guys are doing with your lives right now, whether you're doing the same thing over and over again. There's nothing wrong with that as long as you're happy. And if you're not, then honestly, something has to change, right? And for the last couple of years, I'm sorry, I'm eating. It helps me think and de stress. For the last couple of years, I've been trying to figure out what's next for me, really. And I've been having a hard time trying to figure that out because we have so much access to nowadays, and you can almost pretty much be whoever you want to be in this new day and age. You know, I don't think there's a such thing as, I mean, there is like careers and all of that, but the likelihood of careers not being careers anymore and being defined as something else is very, very high. I don't know what it is, but it seems like if you are in a really good situation right now where you can explore things, you might have a job, right? And then when you get off your job, you're going to start working on something. I think that's a pretty good situation, to explore what's out there for you. But I think everybody is looking into, unless it's just me, just something new. You know, I've realized the last couple of years, I mean, we can just base it on the pandemic in 2020. That's when a lot of things changed for people, including myself, where I've realized after losing loved ones, seeing friends pass away all of a sudden makes you think about life. And it might not be the same for everybody. This video might not be for you. And I don't even know who I'm recording this video is for, most likely just for myself. But those times really made me realize that any day you can die and just go away, and, you know, that's it. Everything that you've worked hard for, I don't want to say that it's for nothing. I mean, it's always leaving some kind of, I don't want to say legacy, but there's some kind of there's memories in there that somebody picks up and remembers you, or they might have learned something from you along the way, or you help someone along the way because of your experiences and what you've done, whether it's small or big, right? I don't want to um disregard those in any way, but in reality, you know, like what are we doing this 9 to 5 for entrepreneurs, this 24 hours for, right? Like, if you're not getting life out of it, then you shouldn't really be doing it. That's at least what I started thinking about. It's fine to have a job, it's fine to have a career, it's fine to work as much as you can, but in the end, if you're just coming home and not getting satisfied, I mean, is it really worth it? You know, is it worth it to work the next 20, 30 years and retire at whatever the retirement age, and then along the way getting sick, not being the healthiest, and then they expect you to live the next 10 years or so if you're lucky, old, um, unhealthy, sick, not having all the resources that you used to have. So, I mean, I don't want to offend anybody with these thoughts, but they're my own thoughts. And, maybe some older people out there could tell us what they regret and advise us to do with the resources that we have right now. Um, but yeah, I'm just thinking about life a lot. You know, time is going by fast. We're gonna be a year older pretty soon. Some of you are already hitting that mark. And what are you guys doing differently? If you're in your mid 30s, I mean, has things changed? Are we hitting our midlife crisis? Are we? What is it? Something just has changed. It's not the same as before. When I grew up, I was born in the 90s, and we were taught and programmed a certain way, and I don't think that certain way is something that works in this new generation. Could it still work? Probably. And what I mean by that is, you grow up, you go to school, you try to get good grades, you work, you graduate college, you get a career, you start a family, you work for the next 20, 30 years, take a few vacations here and there. Um, did I already say get a home? I mean, that all falls into start a family, right? Go to a few vacations every year, and save for retirement, and then wait for retirement age. You have retirement funds, and hopefully you are healthy and you can live the next 10, 15 years or maybe more, right? But I just don't think that applies to today. It's just so hard being conservative in this economy where things are so much higher in price, right? So it's like, man, what are we doing this for? You're gonna save for your whole life where the chances of everything working out is pretty high, or you could get sick, you could pass away, somebody passes away, you could have all of these different challenges that come along the way that could ruin, that whole plan. I mean, there's just not knowing, right? There really is no not knowing. It's 50-50. It's either going to work or you're going to be pushed to a different path. And when you get older, when you get pushed into those challenging paths, sometimes you're just not ready for it. That's when all of the breakdowns happen. So, I mean, Am I wrong to think this way? Should I just mind my own business, go to work, save some money if I can, right? With how I was programmed and a lot of us were programmed and how we grew up, it's kind of hard to detach from that idea. The truth is, I'm actually thinking about moving overseas in Southeast Asia. The last 4 years, 3 years, I would say I've been traveling back and forth with my family, taking vacations, and just really exploring what's out there. I'm leaning more towards like affordability, quality. Um, and I'm not gonna lie, there's a lot of inconveniences and setbacks when you're trying to leave the United States. I mean, I think the United States has everything, all of the conveniences, um, everything you need. Groceries are right there. Roads are nice. Access to everything is literally just on your phone. Depending on where you're gonna go in Southeast Asia, it's like the, the access is so limited. The wait time is so high. You really need a lot of patience. The traffic, infrastructures, but in the end, what I've realized in those last 3 years that I've traveled is I feel more alive. I feel more present. When I'm there, I don't think about my problems here. And man, I love where I'm at. I love my loft office. I love my garage. I love my cars. I love my friends. I love my home. It's my space. But man, I am actually struggling, I mean, financially too. It's a struggle right now. Um and when I think about the differences and positives and negatives of moving somewhere else where it's more affordable, I don't think about anything financial. Sure, there's a lot of inconveniences. Food might be better over there. There's we have a pretty good culture here as Americans when we want to, but over there it's more like family friendly. They value family, they value a community. Over here I walk outside and it's really nobody. It's pretty lonely, right? You go out on the weekends maybe and see your friends. I mean, it's pretty rare too to go out and see your friends because by Friday you're just tired and you just want to be alone and do your own thing. But yeah, thinking about moving, I'm very close to doing that. I love this country, I really do. But right now I want to explore what else there is in life for me. I don't know if you guys ever feel the same way. What's next? If you're someone who's grew up, in the era, I guess, era that I grew up in, which is in the 90s and 2000s, and carrying that idea of you go to school, you work, you start a family, retirement. Once you hit all of those, let's pretend for a second that we hit every checklist that was given to us by our parents and grandparents, the same checklist that they checked off. What if we did all of those things at a much earlier age? And everything on that list you've achieved, you've accomplished. Everybody's proud of you. So, what's next? Do we keep doing that every single day, every single year? I mean, eventually you get to a place where I'm at where you start thinking about what else is there? This can't just be it, right? I don't know, guys. I don't really know. At this point, that's where I'm at, and probably gonna make this move by the end of the year. Get me ready just a little bit more, but it's crazy. Crazy how times have changed very, very quickly, and it's supposed to be a change that should have benefited everyone in a lot of ways, but it seems like the information is so much that we don't really know what's going on. We're stagnant. I think the machine has evolved, got more sophisticated. It's selling us all of these conveniences, but in the end, it's causing a lot of issues, mental illness, um, purposeless people. And this is just how I feel. I wish I have a mentor like when I was climbing the corporate ladder. I had a few people, direct me and talk to me and gave me the support. And unfortunately, I don't have that now. I wish I had someone right now much, much older than me and just really guide me through this thing we call life. Um, I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you guys feel the same way? Am I wrong to feel this way? Because I mean, I'm searching. I'm searching for answers. I'm searching for signs. I pray about it. And sometimes it gets confusing on, you know, I don't know, it just gets confusing. And yeah, I mean that's that. I'm just really concerned about the situation about the timeline going super fast, you know. I think it's something that we need to be aware of because when you're not paying attention to it, really life passes us by and it's one of those things where wow, where did time go by? Where did the year, where did the 5 years, where did the 10 years go by, right? And you can't always be perfect where you're keeping track of everything and being present. Sometimes it's just what it is. There are things in life where unfortunately it's automatic like driving. You're driving and next thing you know you're at your destination and you didn't really get to see whatever it is that's on your site. Um yep, but yeah, let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you think about this whole situation I'm in. If you're in it too, and I'd love to connect with you and just kind of pick your brain or, you know, see what's going on. But aside from that, appreciate you guys. Have a good day.